Hello, everyone. Mark Gilliard again for AIM Country Music Television. And my guest today is Allie Colleen. From her first radio release in 2020, Ain't the Only Hell My Mama Raised, to one of her recent releases, Halos and Horns, Allie has become quite a songwriter and a favorite on AIM Country Music Television. She writes with an honesty that reflects her experiences all along the spectrum from joy to pain. She sings every song she sings with power, conviction, and an inherent believability. Allie performs like it may be her very last chance, like her life depends on it, like she knows that you really need to hear it. She's here today to talk about her latest release, While We're Still Friends, which she recorded with Lee Brice. Let's get her in here right now to talk about what might just be your new favorite song. Welcome, Allie. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Honored. Happy to be here.
Well, I'm glad to have you. I've been looking forward to this. You know, our audience is pretty familiar with you already, but I think it'd still be a good idea for you to give us a bit of a resume for any new folks that are showing up today. Let's just jump
Absolutely.
in with a few minutes to tell us about yourself.
Absolutely. My name is Allie Colleen. I am a recording singer-songwriter artist here in Nashville, Tennessee. I grew up in Tulsa, Oklahoma, which I didn't know I loved at the time, but very proud to be an Okie. And I moved to Nashville at 17 to go to Belmont University. I got a degree in songwriting, whatever that means. It was really fun and I enjoyed it. And then really focused on school. And we hit the road in 2019 after I graduated and released our first song and, did an acoustic tour for a while. So we've just been on the road since, just kind of blazing a path and trying to figure it out. And very, very honored to put out an album and some singles and all this kind of stuff. And then we'll talk about the video. We just shot our first music video. So we're taking all those steps that we're very proud of just being an independent artist here in Nashville.
Right. Well, we've been following you here for years. We've been following you, some of your songs since 2021, so it's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really fun to sit back and watch the growth. We've had several songs. We got that Halo and Horns on there right now. Really rocking country song.
I love
Yeah,
Halos.
that's a great one. I mean, that's just I don't know. It kind of appeals to everybody. That
Yeah.
kind of song. It really shows your range. You know, a lot of growth as a songwriter, and I think it stands up with some of the best songs we're hearing today. I'm
Oh,
really a
that's
fan of
so
that one.
sweet. I wait all set for that song to come around. When we play on the road, I'm just like, is it Halos and Horns time yet? Like, let's do it. I
Yeah,
love it.
I was imagining that's probably one of the crowd favorites when you're in a show.
I'm gonna be honest, I've got a weird tunnel vision when I perform. I know I should be performing for everybody else, but I'm just performing for me and I have a blast. But the response is always very kind.
I think that's what pays off for the audience anyway. That if you're up there having fun, I think the audience automatically has a good time. You're traveling some with Lee Brice now too, right? With this new song.
Yes, we just got off the road with Lee. So we had 6 cities on the Lee Brice tour this last month and it was so cool. He's so kind. And it was so fun. And so we just like I said, we just got home. So we're done with our portion of the tour. And I'm very sad about it, but it was very cool.
Yeah, that's got to be a blast. Do you get to do quite a few of your songs on that, or is it all like with him? Or you?
Yeah, so I was an opener for 6 of the cities, and then he has obviously different openers for all the other shows. So I had, just like a 30-minute opening set for all of those shows. And then we would perform our song later in the night, like during his set. And it was an acoustic tour for Lee and acoustic for me as well. So that was just like really big, beautiful like theaters up in like the Northeast. It was gorgeous.
Well, we're here today to talk about your newest one, While We're Still Friends. Give us a little bit of a background on it before we play it.
Our Still Friends is a little bit of or was at the time, a little bit of a gut punch for me. Lee and I are always very like in pursuit of just writing something that matters, and something that, is kind of that we're, either fits his life or my life. And Miss Sarah was in the right as well, his wife. And so we talked for a while that day about what we were going to write. But at the end of the day, it's just that season, right? That you have a relationship when like you both have all the love for each other in the world, but it's just not gonna work out. And so it's just enjoying those kind of last moments is like you're both kind of understanding and realizing like this is this has to change. And so it's just this beautiful, weird little limbo of a place I think that we all have in our relationship sometimes when they're gonna end. And for me, that was a huge one because it just happened to be a husband for me. So, and I didn't expect to be not married anymore at 27, you know what I mean? But we wrote this song in 2021 and we gave it a lot of space, and I resolved that relationship, and we figured it out for the best of both of us. And so then now, 2 years later that we both had space and grown apart and like done our thing, we released the song. And so it was very challenging for me, but very honored to write a narrative, for other people that everyone's still, going through today. So very proud of this one. Like a little gut punch for me, but I'm very proud of this one.
And it comes across in the song. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's time to share it with the audience. What do you think?
I would love to.
Perfect. You're watching Allie Colleen's video for While We're Still Friends on AIM Country Music Television.
If only we could stop this moment, forget the clock, pretend it's broken. And by the way, you look great tonight. Looking and they'd never know it, but we both know where this is going. But we don't wanna say goodbye. So while we're still friends, while we're still here, before the last thread of us forever disappears, before we let go, give me your hand. Let's make the most of what we can while we're still friends. Remember our first trip to Austin? I took you to your favorite concert, and I can still hear you laugh. So while you got your arms around me, why don't we make one more memory that feels just like that? While we're still friends, while we're still here, before the last thread of us forever disappears, before we let go, give me your hand. Let's make the most of what we can while we're still friends. While we're still friends, while we're still here, before the last thread of us forever disappears, we're not giving up, just giving in. So just make it the most of that we can while we're still friends.
Wow, that's a really good video for a really great song.
Thank you. It was our first music video, kind of our first time navigating all that kind of space. There's a lot of Easter eggs in the music video. Very, very proud of it. Very proud.
Yeah, well, the emotion in this song really, really makes it come to life, really communicates the heartbreak, just when things go wrong. I think everybody experiences that sometime in their life. So
I think
I think
so.
the song can apply to a lot of people.
Yeah. And again, we really tried to capture it in a kind space. I have a lot of comfort songs that, I leaned on in my season and all that kind of stuff. But I felt like a lot of them were lacking just like that genuine like fondness of each other. You know what I mean? Like, and like to this day, like, and like a fondness that will exceed past it. So we really tried to capture that sonically and lyrically. So
Yeah. Well, I love the way the video illustrates the song. It's just really well done. Tell us a little bit about the team and the process that got us here.
I got to partner with Stormlight Productions here in Nashville, who I knew because my friend Hastings, who's a really talented artist, had put out a video, um, maybe 2019 or something, and I was just an extra in it, and I just loved the company. I just loved how they ran the day. So all that to say, we got together and we spent probably 2 weeks of pre-plan for the video, and just excuse me, and we just talked about what was really, really important in my brain to have in the video, and then allowed space for him to creatively say, well, let's fill the gaps with these kind of shots and these kind of things. And that was really cool, to kind of go through together. Um, it was my first time understanding that a video budget does not include anything that you actually need for the video. It only includes the shooting of the video. So after we done all this planning, I was looking at our books and stuff, and I said, guys, what are we gonna do? And so I ended up using my own wedding dress because we didn't have a budget for any other kind of thing. So I was very honored to get to do that. I actually got married in the church that's in the video. So there's just a lot of cameos towards divorce, which kind of made me insecure. I was like, I don't want this to be about, because the song isn't about me anymore. You know what I mean? I think when you decide to be an artist and you decide to put a song out for the world, you got to let it go. And I spent my time with it for me, and now it's for everyone else. So as much as like there's so much about my world in the video, I think that's the one thing that isn't captured in the song lyrically, is a relationship like a marriage. And so that was kind of why we framed the entire music video around that, so that listeners who maybe listened to it before and thought, oh my gosh, this is a breakup song, like, and it is. And then you get to see a video and you realize that, like, families are having to make big decisions together, and that kind of thing. So we really tried to capture that in the video. It was my first time working with a casted person. So Jack, the guy in the music video, was sent by the company, and he was so kind and he was so nice. And we met on set that morning, and that was very interesting and very cool. He was so sweet. He made me very comfortable. He's done several videos in the past, and it was my first one, so it was cool to just kind of work with somebody also in that kind of way.
Have somebody to lean back on a little bit.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. Well, this strikes me as one of those songs that's going to do really well with the country audience, but I think it has a pretty good chance of crossing over to the pop charts too. The writing, the singing, production, just really all on point. I love that really powerful part at the end that you do. And just Lee is, Lee is sort of relegated to backup, but I mean, it is just so strong. Everything is just this fine-tuned machine bringing that thing to a close.
The Lee feature was really cool for me because at the time that we were recording this, Lee was producing 2 other songs of mine, Halos and Horns included, and then another song called Feels Like. And so we worked on all those songs together. And I remember one day I just said, hey man, just I love you, but I've been a fan, since I was like little. So is there any way that you would consider singing harmonies on this song for me? Like, it would just blow my mind to hear my voice with yours, and I think it would be so cool. And he said, of course, like, I'll throw some harmonies on there. I was like, oh, cool, like, amazing. And then I was actually on the road at the time. That's my only thing I'm bummed about in this whole process, is I wasn't in studio on this day to like get to watch it or like get to see it. But I was sent an audio track on the road, and Lee said, hey, I added a little more than harmonies. I hope you like it. Like, if you don't, like, we can do whatever. But he wanted to showcase, that other character that doesn't get a side in the story, and it really made it amicable. It really made it like 2 people that agree, not one person leaving one person. It made 2 people just understanding, like, we know where we're at. Let's enjoy this while we can, and like, just appreciate each other and that kind of thing. So when I was on the road and I heard what Lee sang on it, I just lost my mind. It was so cool. It was so cool. So it wasn't really in the plan, and it just turned out so much better than I ever thought it could be. So I was so grateful for Lee for doing that for me, and for caring about the song enough to put his name on it, and to go into it with me. So that was very cool.
It came out beautifully for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, before I let you get out of here, tell us where to find you online, on stage, and where we can buy or listen to all this music.
Absolutely. I'll tell you all my handles, but at the end of the day, you can find all of the direction from the website, which is alliecoleenmusic.com. But with that said, I am most active and most present on Instagram. So if you guys want to follow me personally, I would check out Instagram. It's just Allie Colleen Music. TikTok is just Allie Colleen. Whatever we're calling Twitter these days, I think it's called X. I don't know, but that's _ Allie Colleen. But But again, just the website, Allie Colleen Music, will direct you guys to all of our socials and our YouTube and our pages and Spotify, Apple, all that kind of stuff.
Beautiful. Well, thanks for joining us, Allie. It's really been
Thank
a pleasure
you.
getting to know you just a little bit today.
Thank you. And thank you for your support over the years and all. I just can't thank you guys enough there's a lot of really talented artists out there in the world. So anyone that will take time in their day to support what we're doing, thank you very much.
Well, you are very welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, Allie Colleen. So what do you guys think is While We're Still Friends going to be your new favorite song? This has been Mark Gillia for AIM Country Music Television. Thank you for watching.
Before